actually three CDs. We know the one in that room's not working, but we think this one's going to. No, this is, that's the agenda. Yeah, read over it.
Did we ever get anything about the cross street operation?
But it, the MSD is going to present some stuff.
Well, do you? That's what I've heard. I've heard that for 2 or 3 years.
You might want to take your jacket off his hat. You're used to that?
I've heard that.
Like that up here.
Okay, we ready to go? Everybody ready? Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call us to order. For the record, today is Tuesday, August the 7th, and the time is 7 o'clock. The first item of business we have is to approve the minutes of Tuesday, July 3 and Wednesday, August 1 meetings, regular meeting and agenda meeting minutes. The chair here motion to approve the minutes as they're written.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. We approve the minutes as they're written. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. They are approved. Okay, our public. That better? Yeah. We just approved the minutes. Okay. All right, our public comment section, we've got 3 persons signed up to speak tonight. Under our new policy, we allot 30 minutes for this. And if everybody's spoken or wants to speak, and there's someone who's not signed up who wants to speak further, can speak at the end of that time, as long as it's not over 30 minutes. So we're now starting at 7:01. The first person who's asked to speak is Amy Beasley. Amy, are you there? Okay, will you come forward to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please?
Amy Beasley, 1641 Edna's Lane, Nashville.
Thank you.
I'm here due to the fact the MSD committee met on June the 25th. Dylan, the chair of the MSD committee, asked us to form a group for the Christmas decorations.
Excuse me, I've got the same problem. You speak into the mic, please. I think only one mic's over here is working.
Okay.
Or it's not working back here or something.
The decoration committee
Oh,
met
very good. Thank you. Very good.
July the 11th and July the 23rd. The MSD meeting was canceled July the 24th so that we could not present this to them. So we wanted to give y'all the opportunity to see what the committee from the MSD committee have been working on and to try to get y'all's input or, so that you can look at it, see what we're doing, and, hopefully you'll like it. We feel the proposed decorations will work really good with the decorations that are already in the town, meaning the Christmas wreaths. We tried to go with traditional because that's what the people of the town wanted. They wanted traditional. If you will look on, I gave you all the actual brochures, but I also gave you a picture of a gentleman. This same ornament is on the page that we've chosen the other decorations from, which is page in your book, page 13. The decorations that we have chosen and hopefully will get approved by the town council is the Santa, which is P175, the poinsettia, which we have presented here tonight, which is P230, the tree, which is P120, and the snowflake, which is P204. We have had some people that are concerned that they might not like the snowflake, so we might have to adjust the actual proposal if we do choose something other than the snowflake. The quote for what we have proposed so far is in front of you, which is $18,296.95. That the shipping is estimated, and that price can change if the ornament price goes up or down on if we do not choose the snowflake. What we had last year was 3 foot by 11 inches and 24 inches wide. This is 5 feet by 5 feet, and the others will be 5 feet by 8 or 4.5 by 8. That's the size that we need for the poles that we have. That way they're very visible. We chose to go with the garland due to the fact that you can see it in the daytime as well as night. The committee feels really good about this. I guess my time is up.
That's time. 3 minutes? Okay. Okay. I'm just, you were going so fast, I lost the ones that was going to be 8 feet.
The ones that are going to be 8 foot are the Santa,
The Santa.
which is P175, P120, which is 4.5 by 8, and then the poinsettia and the snowflakes, they're both 5 by 5.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
had, what we had last year was not even half of the size that we've got this year.
Yeah, well, just as
I
an
mean-
observation, these will certainly do better as far as color appearance, because the things last year were the same colors to poles.
Right.
And the same colors to sky and everything else.
And Sam, can
Yeah.
you light it up for me? And
Okay.
I know that I've gone over my time, and I am very conscious of the time, but Sam is here.
We'll work on his 3 minutes now.
Okay. Sam is here from the company, and this company has been in existence since the 1920s, and they are from Raleigh. And so, you know, he has helped us out tremendously as far as the committee, and that's what you're looking at to go on the poll.
Okay.
And if y'all have any questions for Sam, he would be more than glad to address them for you.
Anybody have any questions?
Hey, man, now you mentioned four different designs. Are we gonna mix them up, or you just wanna choose from those 4?
We're going to mix them up. That's what the committee decided, that it would look good if we did mix them up. And we're hoping that eventually, the town hasn't purchased decorations since the 1990s. We would love for the town, I purchased the last ones for the chamber in 2001. So we would love for the town to maybe contribute and maybe get the wreaths and some of these that we've chosen, maybe throughout the whole town. But if you'll see the wreath as well as the poinsettia, we feel like that it's going to match really well and transition really good through the whole town.
Okay, thank you.
And these are discounted prices that she's got, and you do get a 5 Christmas season warranty on everything you buy from her. So
And-
you're covered under that warranty for 5 years.
And the discount goes until the end of this month, but he did say that he could extend it for 10
Okay.
more additional days.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
We'll
thank
take all
you.
that under advisement. We reset. Okay, our second person is James Harrell. Would you come to the podium, please, and state your name and address for the record?
My name is James Harrell, 707 South Bass Drive.
Thank you.
I'm following up on my statement, question in June about the blockage of my street. If I remember correctly, you were going to notify me of what y'all's results were. The first result I saw was a sign stuck up on the side of my street. Nobody has made any attempt to notify me of what y'all's decision was. So as of that, my next question is, how did y'all come to your decision?
I spoke with the chief about it to study the situation, and then I found out they put up the no blocking the driveway signs out there, and they're on call for issues if you have those. And
Okay.
that's where we went.
Well, that really has not going to stop the situation. Number one, you should have talked to somebody else. You need to look at the street a little bit farther. Number one, as I told you, the street was not wide enough for somebody to park and 2 lanes of traffic to go down it. The next issue is it won't be 2 vehicles parked that was causing the problem. There's other alternatives than the no parking sign that you suggested. Because as I told you, I did not like the idea of putting no parking signs everywhere and just putting them in one place. Now, there is other options. Maybe y'all should have investigated it further, looked at the situation, and see what could have been happening. Number one, you should have talked to Todd Spikes. He owns the apartments. Because it had been an easy solution, it would have cost a little money to fix it. But all you had to do was go over there to Todd's place, put a 4-foot curb right in front of y'all's meter situation where people wouldn't back over it, widen the driveways up. That would give them 2 more spots to pull up in front of their house. Would have took care of the street, and you would have driveways. Apple would take care of the problem. There wouldn't be nobody parking on the street in front of those houses where people could back out and turn around. But, you know, you can't just take and say, oh, we can't do this. You need to look at the whole scenario. So, to my opinion, it was not looked at like it should have been looked at.
Okay. We will,
Because all them signs do just make people mad.
yeah. Well, signs is the low ball way to start with these sorts of things before you get to physical enforcement.
Well, the enforcement's been enforced, that law's been in the books a long time in Nashville.
Yeah.
About not parking in the driveway. My sister got a ticket 30 years ago for the thing.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere else for her to park on the street but halfway in the driveway when she went and visited a friend of hers that she worked with. A bunch of women had the whole side of the street covered. The driveway was packed full of cars, and she parked the best she could, but half of it was in front of the driveway. The driveway was full. She got a ticket for parking in front of blocking the driveway.
Okay.
So,
Thank you very much. And then our last person is Mr. Hartwick, who is with the sign company. You-
Christmas
You through now? Okay.
Did I get a few more minutes?
3 minutes per person. Okay. Okay. All righty. All that said and done, then we'll move on. The next item, we have some things for consideration. Number 1, of course, or item A under number 4, is consideration of zoning request 2018-01, request to rezone the property located at 626 East Washington Street from R10 Residential Zoning District to B1 General Business Zoning District. This parcel contains approximately .41 acres and is identified by the Nash County Tax Parcel Number 380120807450. At the last Wednesday night, we had a public hearing on this, and there was no objection to the rezoning request. The planning board met and recommended that we approve this. Does the chair hear a motion to approve the consideration?
So made. Second.
It's been moved and seconded we approve the considerations. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay. Second item is consideration of zoning request 2018-02. Request to rezone a portion of property located on 203 Aviation Avenue from R4 High Density Residential Zoning District to B1 General Zoning District. This parcel contains approximately .38 acres and is identified by Nash County Tax Parcel Number 380120901859. This is in relationship to the same, to the previous one approved, but not the same property. We had a hearing on this last Wednesday night. There was a little said about it, and the planning board is recommending approval of it. Does the chair hear a motion we approve the consideration?
Mayor, before we approve it, you stated that it was approximately 38 acres. It's .38.
I'm sorry, .38 acres. Oh, Lord, no. How about a third of the town? I'm sorry. Yeah, .38 acres.
Still make
Thank-
the motion. I knew
Thanks
what
for
it
the
was.
correction. Yeah, well, it's on the document there. Nice, okay. Motion, second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the considerations. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Accordingly, it is done. You will notify the petitioners for that? Okay, item number C is consideration of an agreement with Nash County for the flood buyout properties. If you'll see over here, there's a letter of understanding that was sent from Nancy Nixon to our town concerning a relationship between the town and the county in buying these properties, that the county wanted to buy the ones in our district using FEMA money, then give it to us once they had removed the property. And Nancy's here tonight to tell us about this. We have an agreement from the county manager. It needs to be signed if we so approve it. Nancy?
Thank you. I just wanted to, I haven't been to this board since we got our Hurricane Matthew award, and just wanted to confirm and be sure that you know that Nash County was awarded, or was approved to purchase 3 properties after Hurricane Matthew. 2 of those properties are within the town of Nashville. Both of them are on Indian Trail. And so previously, excuse me, after, I wasn't here in my current position with the county after Hurricane Floyd, but when Nash County had purchased properties after Hurricane Floyd, and then when they were annexed later into the city of Rocky Mount, we transferred title to those properties to the city, and they would stay as open space, you know, within the city. And I'm not sure after Hurricane Floyd if Nashville did their own buyout on properties, or if it was part of the counties. That I'm not really sure about how that worked.
We did our own buyout.
Okay,
It was part of our separate project.
separate project. Okay, that's what I thought.
That's where they learned to combine all these mega disasters.
But we had, because we didn't have a large number, we had agreed earlier to do 1 application since we only had a limited number of properties. So what I'm here to talk about tonight, or to request tonight, is that when Nash County purchases those properties as the grantee of that FEMA grant, what we would like to do is after all the demolition and the reseeding and the stabilization and everything is completed, we'd like to transfer title to those 2 properties to the town. And it does create an obligation for the town in order to maintain those in perpetuity as part of that FEMA grant. Those kind of restrictions are required. You'll be familiar with those from the properties that you acquired after Hurricane Floyd, I'm sure, and they're very similar. But I hadn't talked to you about that before, but certainly we would hope that the town would accept that approach to things.
Yeah.
So
On
other than
Indian
that,
Trail, following the 99 flood, we acquired 4 properties there. And this will be 2 more. The 2 they're talking about is when you turn in, we go over the bridge and turn to the right, it's the last house on the left, and then the last house on the right, all the way down,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
609 and I don't remember what the other one, 556, I
Yeah,
believe is the other
yeah,
one.
yeah. Okay. And we maintain those other properties anyway, and I don't see any
Right.
problem of it having difficulty with this.
And we are working, I did think about this, didn't mention it previously, but we are working on trying to help other property owners that had applied but were not approved in that buyout program. We are trying to help identify any other programs that might assist anybody else. So if we do find the opportunity to purchase another house and it turns out to be in Nashville, I'll come back and ask you to do the same for
Okay.
that property.
Yeah,
If it's in
yeah, we'd be
city.
happy to work with you.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Do you
Any
have
other
a
questions?
timetable on this, like when we can expect
Well,
the property?
technically, the grant has until October of 2020. I'm hoping to purchase everything before Christmas of this year.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, as the chair here, a motion, we consider this agreement with the county.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Accordingly, it's done. Okay, Pete, you can sign the document and send it on. Okay, the next item, thank you, Nancy. The next item is the consideration of surplus items. So we've got things here other than surplus too. We got some surplus items. We got some things we want to donate to the Boys and Girls Club in my sister's house. And we got some items that we just want to throw away because they can't be sold. It's a large number of things. For discussion purposes, Chair, here motion we approve the surplus items to be sold on gov.deals.
So made. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We declare all these things surplus and put them on gov. Deals. Any discussion?
Mayor, I've got a question about
Yes, sir.
the jerseys that we've got here, and I think our athletic director is here. She's in the back.
Yeah.
A rough math, my rough math.
Oh, wait just wait a second. Let her get up here.
This is coming.
I'm good.
She's
Yeah.
walking back.
I'm working good.
Yeah.
Yes, working
Yeah, it's-
super
yes,
well.
yes. It's necessary to speak from here so we can get you recorded.
Okay.
Okay.
Adding these up roughly, I come up with over 100 jerseys. Now, how are we gonna replace all these jerseys? Have they been
We
replaced already?
we have already replaced the jerseys. They've been replaced. These are older jerseys. So you're looking at jerseys from early 2000s, basically. And so we have enough to outfit both all of our varsity, our JV, and our rookie squads.
Did that replacement come from sponsorship or from?
It came.
Out of your budget?
Football uniforms generally come out of our budget. So all football equipment and football uniforms come out of our uniform budget that y'all budget every year, or anything that we have left over in materials and supplies. And then cheerleading skirts also come out of
These
that.
jerseys usable for somebody less fortunate?
Yes, they are. We're hoping that they actually get sold on Gov Deals. That would be, and then I think the money then comes back into the town. I think that's how that works. And that would be ultimately what we'd like to see happen. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Other discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. They are declared surplus and donated and thrown away. Okay, the next item is some budget adjustments. The first one is self-explanatory. Lynn found some underestimates when we moved into the budget this year for $160,000. So she's moving some money proposing to move some money from the unrestricted net assets into the general enterprise fund to cover our seasonal wages for the person that installed water meters, having a purchase of $140,000 worth of meters for a total of $160,000, which we approve this will be added in this year's operation budget. Okay, is the chair here motion we approve this?
So made.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Was that just an oversight or?
It was in the spreadsheet, when you use Excel, to sum that total down at the very bottom, those two items were not, the totaling line stopped above them, and we didn't catch it till Lynn was keying it into the software, our budget software, so from the Excel spreadsheet. That's where the occurrence happened. It was identified in the budget and was approved, but when it came time in the budget ordinance, that total didn't match up. That was spent.
Okay. Further comment? All in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Accordingly, that is done. The second item is a movement of $700 from the capital outlay fund in the planning department to reduce our total minimum housing fund from $7,000 to $6,300 to purchase a computer. The one they had just went up in smoke. So we've got to start over there. Is the chair here motion we approve this budget amendment?
So made.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay, and the second one was or the third one rather, is a recalibration of how we're keeping up with the Hope Initiative money. And we've set up an entirely new fund. If you read the explanation down here, it's better tracking for the amount of money we've got. Because the money we collect per year in grants and donations has to be reappropriated every year, which we were not doing before, which is now being done, which is a total of $12,017.26, which is the same amount of money we ended last year with, which just rolled over. We're just tracking it better now.
Would mention to you, that Melanie, or Brian, our interim, finance director, the police department has been getting in checks for this year, fiscal year. So at the next meeting, you'll see another amendment coming, but it'll be identified going into these line items here. So I think we got close to $42,000 in checks, I believe, coming in.
Are we also keeping up with how that money is spent?
Yes, it's, the expenditure line is also, broken out too, so that you got a new revenue line and a new expenditure line, account number 4100 under the police department there, which is only the HOPE initiative grant.
All right. Okay, other comments? All in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Accordingly, it's approved. And the last item, number 4, is an internal thing that Pete could approve, which is receipt of a contribution from the Chamber of Commerce to the fire department for $500. So Pete's already approved that, so that's the end of that. Do what?
There was no motion or second.
Where?
Police.
Where?
The police, y'all just
Yes,
discussed.
yes, there was. Larry approved it. Larry made a
Okay,
motion.
I apologize.
Yes. I'm
La-
sorry.
Larry made a motion, Larry made a
Okay,
second.
thank you.
Yeah, not the same Larry. Okay, number 5, manager's report. Mr. Pete?
Yes, sir. I've handed that out to you. As we discussed or heard discussed earlier tonight, the installed those do not block the driveways on Bass Drive at both ends. And Tom Ashur, the police chief, will respond to call for service if those driveways get blocked. It's kind of difficult to, with as wide as those drives are, for those duplex units there. I rode down there and Jamie and I thought, and I apologize, this gentleman that spoke tonight that could feel that we have addressed the situation, but we've tried to look at the situation and remind people not to block other people's driveways there in the street. I went down there just for the meeting tonight and didn't see any real blockage of any driveways before I came over to the meeting tonight. Number 2 item, there's the high mast lights at exit 459 are nearing completion. Jamie's been in contact with Bobby Liverman and Bobby let us know that the contractors are still a ways out from completion. There are some issues with the meter base that we have to plug or get new power to plug the meter into. But we should have power before the contractor finishes. Bobby also and Jamie discussed the Clarendon-Washington intersection, Washington Street intersection for installation of curb and gutter. There was a local agreement that was discussed at that time about DOT doing the work, then we would reimburse them out of our PAL bill putting that curb and gutter. I believe y'all are familiar with that and had discussions on it prior to my coming as the interim manager. So
Right.
that is ongoing. We're trying to proceed, maybe to get that done as quickly as possible.
Did they ever give us a final number on that?
Jamie, they give us a number on that? 7,000? 7,000.
7,000, cheaper than I thought.
Going back over Brian Hassel's notes that he left with the former manager, working on those ongoing projects or the projects that need to get started. Some have been already completed and or started and underway now. So as needs follow up or in joint projects with the county, like we talked about with this housing. The Elm Street drainage project, which we've got the Golden Leaf grant for $500,000. So,
Excuse me just a minute. Nancy's here from the county. Nancy, we didn't have this programmed into your presentation tonight, but where are we on that overall project for Elm Street? Do you have any leads on that?
I'm not sure, but I can check with Patsy and with Mike tomorrow if you'd like, and be sure they get back with you.
Okay, I keep hearing it's ours, it's theirs, it's ours, it's theirs. We'll swap this, and I'm not sure where we are, but we're going somewhere because we got some money in the bank.
if I could, Mayor, I talked to Patsy yesterday, and she's waiting for the new federal fiscal year to begin. I think that's when they would hope to receive those funds on their share, their $1.5 million CDBG funds for the disaster relief. Ours is there. I talked to Casey Ginsberg, I believe it is, over at with the Golden Leaf Foundation, the 500. Now, what Patsy and the Golden Leaf has suggested is to our grant be assigned back to the county and let all that money go to them and let them coordinate the project itself, which makes a lot of sense. Our money was to go for the actual construction, as I best recall, the notes that I've seen from Brian, and that the county's, part of the county's money, their $1.5 million grant that you're getting there, was to do the engineering and design work on that project, and then the 500 was there to, according to Brian's notes, for the construction. So the coordination of that is still ongoing, and hopefully, according to Patsy yesterday, they would hope to get some word soon, and hopefully by October with the new fiscal year, federal fiscal year, that money's being turned loose, and so they can get started on that project. On the number 5 there, the Lynn Hobbs left, and but left you with that June 30th report on revenues and expenditures, and the auditors received our data, some of our data for that, and they're beginning their audit process work. We still have a few items on their checklist that we need to get to them, but nothing that will hinder their or slow down their work. So they were pleased that we had as much as we had for them to begin, so they could begin a little earlier this year. And I've just attached Emily's, well, we didn't. Emily had given us a report on her summer reading program, and 200 and, what was it, Emily, you still there? 209? 209 participants in that program this summer. So that's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Council comment. Before we go further, I'd like to apologize for Kate Burns, who's not here tonight. I was talking with her this afternoon. She's unfortunately slipped a disc in her neck and's got have to be laid down for a couple of days to get it back in place. But she says it's happened before, so let's just wish her well. That's a dangerous place to be having trouble with. Okay, who wants to start? Mr. Taylor?
Okay, I guess I'll start. I'm glad that the Downtown Business Committee has already got started on their plans of trying to get some the declarations online for us, so we won't repeat what we did last year. My feelings on it, I think the committee is more involved this time around, and you have my blessings to continue with what you're doing. It does look good, and I think the concept of kind of matching, putting more than just one might be very, very welcome to the downtown district. So just keep up the good work. I had something else to the gentleman on Bass Drive. I understand. Did you say, or did I misunderstand, that it's really just one apartment that's really causing the problem?
Well, it was the 2 apartments across the street. There was one apartment, but they were parking in 2 locations. I mean, there was enough room for 2 vehicles.
Okay, it's one
When
spot.
they park on the side of the street, I can't back out in the driveway.
So it's one-
I come home to camper.
One spot that you got a problem with.
Well, it was one location.
Right, okay, all right. Well, I
And
personally.
besides, by y'all putting the signs up,
Mhm.
the best neighbor that I had in the neighborhood has moved out today because of the signs.
Well, I would hope we didn't move just because of the sign, but I apologize for.
Well,
for
that's
our-
what was
for our-
told to me. That was the reason they were leaving.
For our people not getting in touch with you, but I think we're gonna follow up on that. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
No
Taylor?
comments, Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Hinton?
I too would like to thank Amy Beasley and Jill Boone for being on the committee to work on decorations. There were other people on the committee too, but taking the time and interest and making sure things are done right this year, so that, everything is transparent, the council is read in, the general populace is read in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I too like the decorations. I think they're gonna look very good with the color of poles and everything else down there. That's quite nice, particularly like the green. Sort of always reminds me of the green fruit in a fruit cake. My mother used to make that stuff, and I'd pick out all the green fruit. She never liked that, but I did. Okay, thank you very much for coming, everybody. It's it's a terribly hot day, but I appreciate you coming out, and we've got half the building air conditioned, and we're going into a closed session now. We're gonna move over to the room in the library, because this room over here is steaming hot. And we will, be back when we finish, if anybody wants to stay, because we have to report out what we generally decide.
Mayor, one thing before
And
we
we
do,
need-
we need to recognize Melody for helping us out in finance.
Oh, I can't see her if she's behind the post. I need some invisible paint to paint the
Well, this
post
makes me
out.
feel right at home because my tenure with Pitt County, we had 2 posts like that if you were sitting up here, it perfectly blocked sections of the room, so.
Oh.
But Melanie Bryan retired from Pitt County and happy to be here helping in the role that Lynn had.
Okay, we're glad to have you. Appreciate you working with us.
And happy that this week I've driven to Nash County without it raining on me like it did last week.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Well, the forecasts are for 24 hours of more dry weather. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So move.
Second.
Then moved and second, we go into closed session. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Accordingly, we're in a closed session. Let's regroup over in the library room. I think all the doors are open, right, Jamie?
Jamie, is that locked?
All the doors open over there? Okay.